Right, let's give that a go. So, hopefully I survive the spaces. Things are looking better. Um, what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk quests. Hopefully going to talk a few updates. Try and get to the bottom what's been going on at the country club in the last few days or so. So yeah, I thought that would be yeah, a fun place to start, a good place to start. Please bear with me because not feeling amazing. We should be okay. We should survive. Let's get my co-host in before he realizes it's me. Yeah, being well. Just going to check that this recording works. We should be fine. I'm still here.
You think this is the real Spaces?
Oh no. This isn't even the real company Twitter account.
No, we had to change it.
Is that why all my passwords don't work?
Everyone in this space is just a paid stooge.
It's all bots. It's all bot accounts.
You're all a bunch of bots.
Oh, how you doing, man? I feel pretty rough, not gonna lie.
Oh no, how come?
So you might have to carry. I think it's just mega pollen. Big pollen day.
Oh yeah.
My eyes are just so puffy. So yeah, bear with. But I'll survive. It's okay.
I've just looked at the text that comes up underneath this. It's got me saying you rule a bunch of and then drops the C bomb. I did not say that.
Amazing. We'll catch that on Twitter later.
I've been absolutely scammed.
That is excellent. That'll be on YouTube as well. Be able to see that
Oh yeah, so glad.
as it comes through. Oh gosh. So, oh yeah, shit. It was just me last week, and I think I kind of gave a brief outlay of where we're at, what we're working on, what's kind of coming next. Obviously, things have been a bit crazy with the space in general. The last kind of week and a half or so. I don't know if you wanted to cover any of that ground that I kind of went over last week, or whether we wanted to get straight into quests. And comes dropping your opinion of us.
Down bad. Don't believe that inflation. Like it goes straight there.
Goodness me. What a start. What a start to the show. Yeah, I don't know if you wanted to cover any of that. Obviously, as most people listen to this will know, you've kind of been through these kind of like market fluctuations before. I wanted to touch on NFT NYC as well, as that's kind of going on, and well, less the conference because apparently no one's going to those, but more kind of the announcements around that. Because I know there was a big Doodles one yesterday. That Bored Ape Yacht Club video that I think you just briefly mentioned just now in the lobby bar, and then what's been going on with these quests and what we can expect. Um, I don't really want to kind of like pull the curtain back too much, but I think there was a couple of comments that we've seen today where it's like, okay, let's kind of maybe outline a little bit more of what's going on. But yeah, kind of take your pick from any of those topics, I guess, mate.
Well, I don't really talk on these things, but I'll give it a go. So
Let's
that
start a crypto case and go from there.
market downturn. So
Mm.
my first bull market started with CryptoKitties. I think it's clear now that the free cash, the free money we were all getting just for opening Discord and Twitter is now gone. A lot of the people who were only here for the free cash are now also gone. And there are tiers, so you will see people continue to leave as it gets harder and harder. That doesn't necessarily mean it gets worse and worse, but the longer something is down, the harder it becomes mentally. And really, all you have is you're not fighting against anyone else. You're fighting against your own brain, your own mind, and that feeling of it's always your all-time high figure, your all-time high net worth. So personally, I wasn't tracking it this time around. I remember last time I had my apps. What was it? Was it BlockFi? Used to be the big one along with Delta, but I think they've now been bought by FTX. So it's got the same logo, but it calls itself FTX, which is very, very annoying for a phone app to have the same name as an exchange when it does something different. But it is what it is. So 17, 18, and I just watched as that number dwindled. It just went down and down, and like it wasn't a hugely significant amount of money because I was gambling at the time and I was doing well. But I was watching, you know, quite a lot of money just go down the drain slowly and slowly as I have my first kid as well, and life's changing, and you're just down sad as the number goes down. And I was always just thinking, right, that number, that's what I need to get back to. But that's just silly. Um, that's how you get in your own head, and you need to detach from that right away. And I know it's hard because I didn't do it my first bull run. I continuously watched it, so I'm telling you to do what I couldn't do. And this time I kind of didn't trust myself, so I just don't know what my all-time high figure was. What my NFTs were. They're all spread out as well, which makes it harder to track. And that was partly intentional because now I just don't know. I have doodles here. I've gone in and out of apes and ape and um, things like that. So punks, I have no idea what my all-time high value was, but you just need to make sure that you're not revenge trading, they call it, trying to get back to that number, because that number wasn't real. The only real number is when you cash out. Until then, you're trading. You're mid trade. If you hold pairs, you're mid trade, even if it doesn't feel like it. If you count them in your net worth, you're mid trade. You haven't finished it. So you can't just try and fight to get back to that number because that holds you back. Um, so I don't know what my number was, but I know I'm very, very far away from it now. Um, and looking back, it was silly, wasn't it? Like, I remember genuinely asking about the country club near us. I was making inquiries to buy a country club. Like, if that's not, oh, this is silly, what am I doing territory, uh, I don't know what is. So it it's not that bad. Um, like, I know the numbers down, and people are going to have taxes that are silly that maybe they no longer can pay, but we've kind of stabilized round the 1k, bit above, kind of chilling for now. And normally you just see like straight level drops. Well, we have seen them. We were over 4k. Now we're 4K. It's not great, but I I'm a terrible trader, but I feel like NFTs might be coming back. And if he stays at 1k and settles, People will get bored. NFTs, something new innovation will happen, and it will just spark, and we'll go again because NFTs were running at 1K before. Uh, you know, the start of 2021, the NFT boxes launch. It's kind of sits on my mind, so I had to run through the numbers and look at the ETH all the time. But we launched January 2021 with sub 1K ETH, which is crazy to look back at. And obviously, the last bear market went right down to 80. Um, so it shouldn't go down there. But again, don't listen to me. Terrible trader. Whatever, counter trade me, and you'll probably be rich in about 4 weeks. But you just got to focus. So I guess you wanted a rundown of the bear, and I've gone on a bit there.
Just give me
But
a
just
rundown.
on your
I love a
own,
rundown.
if you can take the positivity and all those people that you look up to that are now you see as mega whales, they were pretty much mostly all born in the 1819 bear, uh, even 20. They acquired the NFTs that then ran these punk holders. I bought punks at $200, maybe 250. I bought and bred loads of that other project, which I can't say because I always say it and you always drink. Um, I picked wrong there. Yeah, I was sure it would be the best, and I picked wrong. Counter trade me. But those people who went heavy into punks, they made the big returns, and it's hard to say this out loud because it sounds so dumb, but it's not Ethereum or Bitcoin that's going to make you rich. If you buy now at 1K and it goes to 10K, you 10x your money. And unless you already have size, that's it's not really that much because you're supposed to invest what you can afford to lose, and what you can afford to lose 10xing isn't generally life for
So
like long
my
life.
£10 DCA ETH is not going to make me millions of pounds. Is that what you're saying?
No, but what will make is what you learn, what you experience. So you've all experienced a bull market now, and you've all been here and played the game. Now, if you can take that knowledge into the bear, build that knowledge, and come out the other side, that's what all of those people did. The start of 2021 with NFT boxes with Pranksy, he was not a whale. He was not really rich. At one point, I bought, and maybe 2019 or 2020, I bought loads of crypto kitties off him, and I paid in pounds so that he could pay bills. Like during the bear market, he was down bad, but he kept grinding. He kept working during the bear, and when it then came to it, when the bull run started, because he'd been identifying certain trends and patterns during the bear market, he spotted it early in the bull, and he went deep into Top Shot, like early 2021. He was buying accounts, and then they 10x or whatever. He was buying accounts in ETH, and Dapper were manually transferring it over. So it's about what you got to do now is build that knowledge. Just by being here, by being active, it's okay, to be a side hustle, I guess they call it.
Mm.
But really, it's a hobby. If you love NFTs, you love sticking around. You're gonna learn a lot. I hate the word now because it just makes you sound like Zagabond. But that's the people you look up to made their money in NFTs doing something. They built that experience in their first bear and then profited in the bull. So most of you have probably profited in the bull. So now you're starting from a position of strength. Whereas when I got wrecked in 18, I lost money that I put in. I didn't lose profit. um, so yeah, I guess that's where, on a kind of positive bear note, is focus on trying to do something. Like, you just think Jenkins, for example, that was born
Mm.
Board Ape Yacht Club. You can take Penelope's and build something within Penelope that come the bull. As long as you've got a long enough time frame, and you're actually doing something, and it's good and it's useful and all of this stuff. Um, I guess there's so many possibilities. You can also Top Shot has it. They have loads of different accounts that are there for certain things. And that's kind of the thing I want to foster. Like we've got Reporter Cat, but that's us. Wait, no, that's not us.
No,
That's yeah.
wait.
Uh, it's like the Curator Cat type of stuff. Like that site is amazing, and that's what we want to build up from within a community. And just getting involved is how you learn, right? It's the experiences. So yeah, that's I guess last week's catch up is, I know it's bad. We're all in it together, but that's another thing about these communities. These profile picture communities have been built. Utilize them. If you're feeling it, it's okay to reach out to anyone in pairs. Friendships are formed in these balls. The best thing I took from the bear was my friendship group, who have gone on to sell companies to insane other companies that we never thought would happen, to build projects like Doodles, to innovate like Chain Faces. There's lots of things that have gone on from within that friendship group that was effectively, it was, I guess it was born in the end of the bull of 2017, but it was hardened in the bear. You actually got to know each other properly during
Mm.
that time.
Yeah, and I feel like we've kind of seen that in the last week and a half, 2 weeks or so, even longer than that, I guess. I think like obviously last Monday was like the big change. But if you want to go and look at if you want to go in hindsight, look at graphs, it's like, well, we were kind of on the way down for a bit. I feel like the community is like our community that we've helped to build. I don't want to say built, because a lot of the people that we speak to on a daily basis as part of the community are as much a part of the building of it as we are. Um, but I feel that it's kind of not really changed the vibe too much. Still a lot of GMs flying about every morning, lots of kind of chats about this, that, and the other. JT starting threads about NFL stuff already, and it's like it's all kind of feels the same. Kind of feels like we're still working together and still chatting about stuff and still going. So, yeah, I think it's it's a nice viewpoint to have, and I'm sure if you'd been on last week, then we would have kind of had the same conversation. But I feel like we're almost in a good position with the community that we've got to kind of to keep these things going. And I think kind of the addition of quests in the last what 4 or 5 days has been really really fun as well. So yeah, the work that Hoddle's done on that to kind of make that happen has been awesome. And yeah, all the kind of the other extra little bits and pieces that we can now do with that has been really fun to see.
Yeah, what was next? Racist board apes?
Racist board apes. Let's touch on that because I feel like that's been around for ages.
Yeah,
Like that
yeah.
isn't like a new incendiary thing, but this video basically was an advert for a derivative that I think made a lot of money and was like, I don't know if it's rugged already, but like it feels feels weird to kind of, hey, they suck, but also here's my project that looks very much the same. I don't know.
It's not very much the same. It is the same, but this time it's performance art, which
Oh,
is
okay.
confusing in itself. Because if you truly believe, because he has been pushing this for a long time, and let's just let's get it out there. He's not a great guy. Like there is a lot of pre NFT bad stuff. He's a well connected guy. Like he works for Kanye and stuff like this, but there is a lot of baggage that comes along with this guy, and you know most of it negative. And there's been a lot of, even coming into NFTs, a lot of silly stuff that kind of kind of made me never ever really trust his word or what he's doing. Like when you do a couple of things in this space, there aren't too many things, but there are certain things that if you do it, I just kind of write you off. Like there's just there's just no point wasting my mental space on someone that I know is never going to be at the standard of person that I want to consider. Uh, but there's, I guess, early on, I was in BAYC. I was worried that people outside NFTs would just see apes and think there were these racist undertones, just because it is an issue in certain parts of the world. Certain parts of the UK, certain parts of the US. It's fairly worldwide. Racism is not gone, and apes slash monkeys are often used in that sort of way. So I was worried that not from within the NFT space, but I thought the outside would think it was racist. But the claims are. So I studied stats at university, and pretty much the first rule of stats is you can prove anything you want to. Like this video is proof of that. Like if you just make up enough random links, all those funny charts of like pirates and I don't know amount of strawberries picked in that year or something. Like the more pirates there are in the sea, the more strawberries yielded. Big, just because there's a coincidence that it all lines up that way. But when you actually watch this video, I think for most people that will actually watch it, it will harm the cause, because there's so when people actually know what their claims are, and they're like, oh, but why didn't you do this? So, for example, they go with the ape being racist. Like they picked apes because it's racist. Is like I think it's the second point in the video, without at all ever mentioning aping in or the crypto culture around apes and calling each other apes. And it's not racist because you're saying, hey, let's ape in. And normally back in the day you were talking to some sort of, well, they were all of crypto Twitter, as far as I can tell, in 2014, 15, were all just hentai screensavers, right? Like what what do they know about anything then? From sort of racism, they're just throwing out some weird cartoon woman and shouting, "Let's ape in." Then there was Wall Street Bets, and they were aping into everything. And this was all pre BAYC. It's not just a crypto thing. It became an investment thing, and they've completely locked that out. They've ignored that. They've not said anything about it, and then gone, "Oh, but it's racist because apes."
Hmm.
And then Yuga Labs is another good one. They've gone, Yuga is a very niche character. Why gamers don't do that? They would have talked about a main one. But no, that is gamers love Easter eggs.
Love them. It's like the whole thing.
Like that's
Oh my god.
the whole video is bad, but that that claim is just so easily refuted by people's usernames. We probably got some random username in here. Like I just look at the top. Gravity Schmavity is one of the what like that. Schmavity isn't even a word. How dare you? That's and they just go. they couldn't possibly have called it Yuga Labs because of this evil character in Zelda that turns people into 2D objects. Like they 2D stuff, almost like NFTs. 2Ds are NFTs. How could that be the link? Obviously, it's this racist Nazi thing, and that's the issue with almost every claim. Is like we'll completely ignore one very obvious reason why this has happened, and actually we're going to go straight to the Nazis. And like the only like the only one that I guess didn't seem to have an obvious thing that refuted it was something about 18 teeth. Like there's some Nazi logo that had 18 teeth, and the Bored Ape Yacht Club one has 18 teeth, and there's like no other reason for it to be 18 teeth other than it just was. So there's like one thing that just was, and all the others are easily refuted. It's don't it's in my opinion a waste of your hour. But of course, if you want to watch it, you can go and watch it. It's it's up to you. But the the guy who's been pushing this for a long time, not a great guy. Lots of issues pre NFTs, then in NFTs, and then profited from effectively selling exactly the same art that he considers racist, not even removing what he considers racist traits or undertones or anything like that. Keeps the Nazi logo. There's just it's just all made to profit, in my opinion, which I think is quite easily quite easily seen once you actually do watch it and rub a few brain cells together.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's so weird, and I think it's coming for the king, isn't it? Like Bored Apes and Yuga Labs have proved themselves to be the company, like the project in this space. They're known of outside of this space. Um, well, kind of like that's the first thing that people will make fun of if you don't know about this space and you've kind of read one Daily Mail headline about NFTs are bad. The one that you'll know about is Bored Apes, and obviously Seth Green getting scammed out of his recently probably didn't probably didn't help that. Um, but yeah, it smacked to me when it first came out a while ago of, like you said with the stats, you can draw those parallels if you want to, and you can see them if you want to see them, and then there might be truth in it, there might not be. I don't know. To me personally, it feels like a reach, and I feel like it's if Bored Apes was our flaw and Penelope's was their flaw, I feel like people will be looking. I mean, look at our logo. It's not too dissimilar, is it? Like, we've got writing on the top, writing on the bottom, logo in the middle, two dots either side. Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's
Like,
that almost like 50 logos in the world, but let's go
yeah.
there.
I think someone said like, oh, so like Starbucks and Panda Express are Nazis as well, and then someone just circled the SS at the end of Express and Panda Express, and it's like, oh no. um, but I feel to me it smacks of coming for you're coming for the king. Like
Let's not miss.
yeah, exactly. They're the big dog or big ape in
I
this case.
think they've been going for it pre Top Dog, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's just I think that's enough on that stupid video.
it is stupid. Indeed, let's move on. The Quest bot, as it is now called, I renamed it, I think yesterday or this morning. I can't remember. Time's a flat circle. It's now the Quest bot. I think we need to kind of like divvy out because a lot of the ambassador commands are still in there and still work. But we've been questing. The team's been questing. The community's been questing. There's been lots of different things kind of going on. We started it over the weekend. Um, and yeah, it took a bit of a turn on Monday, which was very interesting.
Yeah, so I guess the first thing to put out there is this is alpha, alpha, alpha. Not as in the info you want, but as in alpha, beta, full release. This was the idea of subdomains, the idea of social questing, and then getting something together that can actually work. It's like a proof of concept. This is not how it will be. Ideally, it will be off Discord, but kind of merged with Discord. So what I do like is when someone goes on a quest. So Ishida has been assigned the type quest to join them. I'm wondering if there'll be multiple ways to start a quest. The website, Discord, maybe even Twitter, down the line to obtain the information. And then from there you can be alerted in Discord. Like maybe people can find out there'll be a channel that just says who started the quest, who's joining it, or whatever. Um, but yeah, we're testing the concept. We're testing what can be done. So like it's good at the moment to get different things coded into the bot, so we can. What do we do yesterday? All three. What would you like? Retweet and comment.
Like, comment, and retweet.
So we're just doing things that sort of gets the code base up and running, and uh, I guess prepares people for. I'm not saying these are the types of quests that they'll be. That sure, some of them will be like this, but as you can see with the current one, which is a this week one, we we're testing out. Will people care if it's over a week? Will they care if it's tied into law? Will it add anything additional? Will people um, engage more if there's a sort of overarching story? Will they engage more if it's helping them learn more about the country club? So we're just seeing, I guess, what's what at this stage. We're using you as sort of test subjects, which I guess is
Quest subjects.
quest subject, which is all very nice and useful. Um, so it's fun. I like it. I like the thought of daily quests. I like the thought of a weekly quest. Like if you think about it, we were doing the daily quests at the start, and now maybe it's a weekly quest. And I'm also considering monthly quests and how to reset the scores. So, for example, if you turn up today and the score just kept going up by a day, you would always be 5 points behind Shill for the rest of time, even if you do every single quest ever, because he'll do every single quest ever, and you'll just always be behind him. So a lot of thought needs to go into how to score it, how to reward it, because one of the issues with just giving out rewards for doing stuff is it becomes entirely transactional. Like if you're only doing a quest because you think you're going to profit, the quest is no longer fun. It's not fun at all. Um, it becomes a burden because you're like, oh, I've got to go and do my whatever that then makes me, $1, and I'll be angry at myself if I don't. And I say that because that's exactly how I felt with DeFi Kingdoms. So I had loads of heroes and loads of lock jewel, and I had to send them on a quest. Did they call it quests or mine? Probably quests. I had to send them mining and farming and all of this stuff. And if I didn't do it every 4 hours, I think it was maybe 6, then I was literally losing out on money. Now it wasn't much money, but the stress I felt definitely wasn't worth any of the money that I took in from the whole thing. Because it was just like university revising. I was like, I should be revising now, but I'm not. Oh god, I'm out the house. I can't quest. I'm losing money, and I don't want that at all. I want from the social questing, I want the main rewards to be social. I want competition. I want hype. I want uh, stature. I want people to want to be top of that leaderboard, not because we're going to pay them to be. I'm not saying there won't be any financial incentives. I'm sure there will be. We have, lots of NFTs sitting in our company wallets that need to get out there and into community hands. So there's plenty of stuff to give out, and then token coming in, and you can even create, new NFTs, new rewards. There's plenty of stuff that can be done. But I want to build it right first. I don't want to hook people in because of the money. I don't want you paying to quest and then hoping to earn more. I
Yeah,
also want to build out a much smoother experience. I've said cool cats but social, and you know I love their website and how they do it all. I just hate that a quest is just send this transaction and then get some milk. So that's what I'm trying to change.
yeah. I think we don't want it turning into a essentially like a play to earn game. Is what we're trying to avoid. It needs to be it needs to be something fun to do and something interesting, and there's like the stuff around it. Seen bits and pieces with cyber brokers quests like recently, and I think they had one like this week that was built around like a real life party in New York around NFT NYC, and it's like that's really cool like functionality that you're then building out. It's kind of something a little bit different to it. Um, but yeah, I think it's been really fun kind of like the last few days, kind of seeing us kind of testing the waters with what we can do with it, coding new stuff into it, coming up with stuff and like, okay, would this work? And like, how would a leaderboard work? And do we do seasons and how long are seasons? And kind of, yeah, like little extras and bits and pieces like that. So yeah, this is kind of the start of that. Um, and yeah, kind of building out some narrative and some lore was really fun. I had to, I had to delete. I did a tweet of like me stepping away because I'd been fired, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to delete this because I don't want. I was getting some very very lovely messages from some really lovely community members saying like, oh, like if you're okay, if you need a chat, and I'm like, oh, geez, like this is so lovely because this community is just the freaking best. But it's like this is kind of like part of the narrative, so I kind of deleted that and got away from it.
How said about time?
Just you.
Okay.
So yeah, so that was really cool as well. I think seeing where we can go with that over the next few weeks, few months, longer, I think will be really interesting and really fun. Kind of yeah, building all of that out, and like you said, different ways of joining it and maybe hiding it a little bit. It's kind of why I haven't answered any questions on it. And I know people have DM'd me, and then we've had some stuff on Twitter of like, what is this? I don't understand. Have I missed something? I think because we've been so good with our updates and telling people what's going on and what we're working on and what's coming next. I think we've been so good at that. We kind of suddenly went a little bit quiet because this is something that's built into the lore and narrative and stuff like that. I'm just like, what's going on? I don't understand. Where's all the list of commands and stuff? It's like there isn't one. You guys are figuring it out. So I think that's been cool, but also I can very much appreciate some people's frustrations with it as well.
That's what frustrates me about this space is we didn't tell anyone anything, and I saw, I'm in loads of discords, and I saw loads of buzz, um, like just people asking about what is this questing, what are everyone doing, why is everyone mentioning Carlini, why, what's this reporter cat tweet, and it's kind of what happened with goblins, right? They were they were completely anon, and there was so much speculation, and everyone was like, "Oh, what's this? Who could it be?" And they pumped off the unknown, and
So was it Beeple? Is it Yuga? Like, who are they? And it's like, it's nobody. It's none of. It's neither of those.
yeah, so I was actually on a podcast with briefly with one of the goblin guys a while back. You know, a while back, maybe 6 months at this point. It's time's crazy, but
40 years ago.
by not spoon feeding all the information, the people who are interested will go out of their way to find the reason, what it is. And you know, it kind of defies logic, but it's an interesting thing to take note of. You know, there's been more interest than had we just told everyone completely everything about it. Which, you know, it sucks to say out loud, but it is what it is, I guess.
Hmm. Yeah, I think it's the same with anything. It's murder mystery shows. It's watching something. You know, if I remember watching. This is a very big tangent. But I remember watching a version of Murder of the on the Orient Express as a kid. So like a movie that was made, I don't know, like in the 70s or something. I remember watching it, and it was like a rainy afternoon at the weekend. I was like, okay, fine. Like this is on the TV. Watch that. Couldn't couldn't stream anything back in these days, guys. This was before Netflix. Um, Watched it, had a good time with it. Thought, okay, fine. And then years later, the remake, the big glossy remake, gets done with Kenneth Branagh and stuff. And it's like I still enjoyed watching the new version of the movie, but I didn't have as much fun with it because I knew exactly what was going to happen. I knew exactly where it was going. I knew the mystery. So your enjoyment of that story is then lessened because there's not as much fun to be had from it. The unknown is like the thing that is like, okay, this is interesting. Okay, cool. What's going on? What's going on? What happens if I do send my grandma to this address? Will I get it back? Will I not?
Yeah, we haven't even spoken about. We got 70 what? We didn't. An address got 70 old grandmas from you.
Hmm.
No, no, nothing. Just send a grandma here, and it was like, okay.
Okay, can do. So hopefully they get found. So
How
I
much
can I can stop doing spaces from this broom cupboard that I'm doing it from.
grandma penalties? Like, what's the floor of a grandma?
026, I think. Last I checked.
0.023 times that times 72 or something. Like we had 1.8 grand sent to us for no reason. Like that's
Something might happen.
something might happen.
I haven't heard from Reporter Cat in a while, which
Lead
is
investigator
which is quite worrying.
is
It's
currently.
dangerous.
Has there been much mention of Report Cat today?
Um, I think so. I don't have a good way of tracking it, in all honesty. Report Cat last tweeted 22 hours ago saying, "Right, I better get on it. You egg me on. Let me see what I can find." And that was the last anyone heard from them.
I love the the lost and found.
Oh my god, that was amazing. Was
Was it?
that Backyard Dick Karate 69? It's
Oh,
like, have you seen this? Have you seen this guy?
oh, I thought it was nuggets.pcc.e. Oh, and the grandma that flies off. Peter, what's happened? Oh,
Hello? Oh,
hello.
sorry. My meeting was still going. Yes.
been a lot of good stuff, like the grandma that flies off, the different missing stuff in crypto voxels.
That was very cool. We got the milk carton as well, which is good.
And that's kind of the goal, right? We want to create reasons for people to, get fun stuff like that out there. That goal one of, I guess, anything social of Penelope's is to get you all engaged. We want you to, want to be involved with the law of the country club and to just have fun with it. Obviously, you don't have to. People will hold pairs for many different reasons, and while I know no one is going to be holding for the law, we want that to be an addition that wants you to stay, right? You want to get involved. You want to find out who Chavez is. You want to find out what's going on with the collective and Penelope and Reporter Cat and a couple of other planned, like planned from a long time ago, cats that are coming. Create your own cats. Be your own characters. Like again, going back to Jenkins. Jenkins the ballet was just quite a fancy looking ape, and then
Mm.
it became ballet clothes when it could have gone another way. Not all valets dressed like that, and became a whole sort of thing, business company, all of that, huge investment. But
Yeah, like Lionel Richie's involved.
yeah, like this sort of stuff can come from an engaged community. So our plan is to engage you, but we also need to make sure that if you don't want to be on that side of things, then it's okay and you don't miss out on too much. We are obviously going to reward people um, who get involved.
Mm.
That's how it is. You get rewarded for effort.
Yeah,
Before he got lost, Reporter Cat had found another letter he was hinting at, but not sure what happened there. Maybe it'll never see the light of day now.
mm.
That's a shame.
It's a
But
shame. Poor guy.
so I guess to kind of reiterate, all we're trying to do is add on top. There is no underlying value that you lose by not getting involved in quests. You'll just simply be rewarded to get involved in different ways, and we're experimenting with finding the best ways. I have lots of ideas, and just seeing them play out is going to be very cool.
Yeah.
But the the main thing is to make sure that you understand, if you are just a holder, if we engage the community, if you're holding for an investment, if we engage the community so that the community adds value, that helps your investment. So while you may not feel like questing is going to help you, because it's going to be great, it's going to be fun, and it's going to engage people. Any updates on NFT World / Entity Builds? The the main guy had some kind of car crash.
Gosh,
He was okay. He was okay. I think it just
shook
unsettled.
him up a bit. Yeah.
So things were delayed a little. We've been waiting to have our team walkthrough for a while,
Yeah.
and we're just waiting on the final info for that. And I think maybe the last time I spoke, that was like just pre crash. You didn't know him, Ebba. You don't know who it is. It's not like saying the Queen was in a crash.
Lead with that. He's okay, but yeah. So yeah, I think that stuff is coming as well, obviously, which is very, very cool. But yeah, we need to kind of make sure that the people working on it are a-okay to be working on it. So that's kind of that's understandable. I also have a Lucky Cat update.
Oh,
The people who won theirs, I set up a little Twitter group. So please don't DM me from a different Discord account that you won and you were told to reach out to me. Because oh boy, I'm getting that so much recently. Like,
yeah.
oh, I won in this other thing. They told me to reach out to you. I was like, no, they didn't. Like,
Just
I'm
imagine
in I'm
your
in those chats.
day of the month for 2 months.
Oh gosh, wild. So the people who won theirs at the back end of May, I think I've got everybody's sizes now, so I'll be getting those. I'll be getting back in touch and getting those out to you. We're gonna do things. It's gonna be a little bit weird. I say we. I feel that we kind of underestimated demand for these t-shirts and what they were going to be. We want to make sure that the people that buy them are people that are that want. We want to get them into the hands of the people that want them, essentially, if that makes sense. As a weird kind of sentence. So what we're going to do is basically drip feed them into the community. There's going to be different ways of accessing them. Um, we're going to have codes that will allow you to purchase the t-shirt, so through different means. So if it's turning up to games nights, if it's listening into spaces, if it's completing x amount of quests, if it's just chatting loads in Discord and having a nice time or being nice to people or whatever, all the stuff that the people that we want to give these t-shirts, or that we want people to have these t-shirts do anyway. That's kind of the way that they will be accessed. So I think if you look at the website, I don't know, Jamie's probably screaming at his phone right now because I'm giving away too much or I'm saying the wrong things. The price of the Lucky Cat t-shirts has changed. And to unlock it, to get it at a reasonable price, the price that we were going to sell them at, you'll need one of our codes. The only way to get the codes is to win them or get them through different means. There'll be
is
more on that kind of in the next few days. Sorry, go on.
is it 99 grand or is it like 69 420 or something
It
like
is 88 because
88?
it's Lucky Cat. It's not eight. It's not £88. So I'm sure there'll be a couple of maxis that would buy one of that cost. I think it's 88,888 quid.
Yeah, 88 grand. So it'll be sold out if it was 88 quid.
They've gone already. So yes, they will be coming soon to everybody in lots of different ways. So yeah, we I know Jamie feels very, very strongly about this, and so he should, because the t-shirt that him and Katie have put together is freaking awesome. And I've only got like the beta version. But yeah, we want to make sure that these get into the hands of people that really, really want to and really want to kind of wear them out and about. So that'll be getting worked on in the next few days. So eyes peeled. And I think that's probably all I've got. Players who stay away rushes to try Carbon for Life as code.
Why would Report Cat be selling Lucky Cat tees?
Unless that's where he's holed up. He's holed up in the stock room. That's why no one's heard from him. Jamie just assumed he was working there. It's like, all right, yeah, can you get some merch orders out, please? Thanks very much.
We're guess sale update, as we haven't really said anything. Obviously, with this
God, yeah.
downturn and
I got completely sidetracked by quests.
yeah, yeah, we are ready to go. Um, we're just trying to wait for a better time because we know you guys will buy. Like your fans, you'll all want some. You know, there's an airdrop if you hold one of it and one of pairs, or if you have 5 pairs and 5 of those, you get 5. Um, that's to reward the current community. But one of the goals of the sale, so the main goal is to raise funds, to increase the runway, um, but another one is to bring more people in. Sales bring people in, and sure, it will bring flippers in and people who just want to try and profit, and they'll be in and they'll be out. But we've done that before. That was the same for our original mint. And the plan is what that does is it brings people to the Discord, it brings people to the community, and they can see that when we tweet, these long threads that say we're built different, and we do things differently, and you know we're actually trying to do NFTs right. There will be, there'll be some stickiness. Some people will see that we are built different and we are doing things differently, and we are worth sticking around. Maybe they'll try a quest or two, and they'll become, one of the main community members that you just, you see and chat to every day. So the goal is to increase our holder count via, I guess, the advertising of the sale, because in this space nothing is more alluring to people than a sale. Right now, maybe not. It's pretty tricky to sell out right now, but when we start seeing a little bit of strength, um, we'll be good to go on the sale, and we've got a lot of sort of things lined up to fire out as it happens that have been ready for a while now, because we were planning to do it off, ages ago at this point. We should have been, I don't know, maybe a month ago. I can't fully remember.
think it was basically, yeah, it was end of Mayish, I think, with one thing and another.
Hoodie has it just Hoodie was sort of right. We're now ready to go. They're made. The hoodies exist. It's just the unboxing experience now, because those of you that have received merch have seen that, we did. Well, I say we did. Jamie did quite a lot of thinking and planning and how to actually make this special. The merch is for what it is, the quality it is. The merch is, it's really cheap. It's great value because there is no profit. We are not trying to profit at all on merch. That's like advertising, I guess. Getting it out there into our community's hands. But the experience we were trying to make feel good. We wanted you to get your package and share it on socials. Like, we've had lots of boxes with the tape on it, or it opened up with the word search and the badges, and people wearing the merch and reviewing it and saying it's better than this, that, and the other. This was all part of the goal. But now this hoodie, you have to burn 10 NFTs for, which, sure, the NFTs have just gone down quite a lot in value, so it's quite cheap to get the hoodie right now. But what we're trying to make sure is that experience is also good, um, and different, and more, I guess, maybe see if we can go a little higher, with this stage, just because it is, you have to burn 10 NFTs to get it. September, when we fired these out, is now a long time ago. So what's a few extra weeks to make the experience better, when you guys didn't know it was actually a few extra weeks, because it was supposed to be sale right hoodies. So now the hoodies are ready to go. Working on the unboxing experience. The market downturn has made us switch focus, because the focus was sale, hoodies after sale, and now it's sort of continue working on the sale while planning when to do it. So there's a lot more sort of, I guess, research and checking now. Um, so hoodies soon. We might be shipping them before the sale. We'll have to see.
I had a question from Quit in the server saying that he burned his grandma. Just wondering when I can expect my physical grandma to be delivered. Will that be before or after hoodies?
That's that's got nothing to do with us.
What he didn't realize is you have to burn 5 grandmas to get your physical grandma. So
That the grandmas have grandma burning has nothing to do with us, I'm afraid. That's on you. The Quest bot was compromised and the wallet was changed.
definitely not my fault.
Yeah, and due to the pandemic, supply of grandmas is actually pretty low. Right, right.
The supply chains are knackered.
We're actually struggling with this.
You can get a Twitter account that will notify you when there's grandmas back in stock. But it is first come, first served. So
Is that a community run Twitter? Is that the one I've been talking about?
it's good. I'm accidentally following like a PS5 stock checker on the Purr's Twitter, rather than my own personal one. So every so often when I log on late in the morning, it's like, oh, I've got a notification. Oh, what is it? Oh, some likes and retweets. Oh, PS5s are in stock. Oh, good.
I guess I should say, not that I know, this is, second hand, maybe even third hand knowledge, but the last communication I had with Reporter Cat said the only thing he's found in the country club is that sending extra grandmas didn't help.
Ooh.
You only completed the quest with one, and there was no reason to send more.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, hopefully they'll be found safe and sound, all being well. For my sake, as much of anything at this point.
I sent him in. Hello.
Right. That is our hour. Thank you everybody so much for listening. Uh, Hopefully a lot of information packed in there. I think we covered a heck of a lot. My eyes now hurt less, which is good. So yes, Fortnite tomorrow. So I will be playing that for about 9 o'clock. I think James will be with me, as long as his living situation is sorted. Poor guy. So yeah, we're playing a bit of that. I will be on my mobile Switch because we're back on mobile command. Um, but yes, so if you want to come join that tomorrow, it'll be good fun as usual. Uh, and then usual stuff on Friday. We'll see how the Kitty Vault is doing. It was quite interesting. I was actually fascinated to see last Friday that it hadn't really changed much in ETH terms, which I thought was quite interesting, compared to kind of how it had been the last couple of weeks. So that
Just
was,
terms.
yeah. So that was quite interesting to see. Stay tuned to the QuestBot. We're going to still be perfecting that. It is now called QuestBot. You can find it in the bots section of the server. It is the only bot that has a wizard instead of a robot, because wizards give quests, right? I thought that was fitting. And yeah, we'll see you all next week. We do actually have a guest next week. Something a bit interesting that I thought might be probably along the lines of our Genomes DAO guest that we had on a while back, where it's something that is kind of a use case for NFTs that we maybe haven't spoken about too much. I thought would be quite a good one to kind of have in, based on this kind of berry market at the moment. I thought that might be fun. So look out for that, and I'm sure we'll have more info on everything else going on at the Country Club in the meantime.
Cool.
Anything else from you?
Is
Sorry?
I don't know who that is.
I'll send you the details. They're a holder, but it is like an education. It's like a service where you can then kind of learn stuff through NFT ownership, and that's how you kind of like pay for it, and that's how it's kind of trickled down in the economics and stuff. So like a subscription service, but it's an NFT, but the subscription is to learning things about stuff you want to learn about. It's quite interesting. I'll
Cool.
find you the site.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and I will forward it on. But yeah, I thought it was really cool. It sounded like a really different and really interesting use case. And I know we've highlighted stuff like that before with the club football game, with Genomes DAO, with other bits and pieces that I can't mention yet. So yeah, I thought it was another kind of cool thing to highlight. Hopefully,
Cool. Sounds great.
awesome. Carlini, thank you very much for your time as always. Thank you everybody for listening, and we will see you and speak to you very soon.
See you, everyone.
Peace.